Hello, the purpose of this video is to show students how to do a revision on their floor plan. So by now, you should have already watched the video on floor plan revisions or floor plan corrections, and some of them are extensive and some of them have very few, but mostly all of them have revisions to do. And so for this week's module, you are going to do your revisions in AutoCAD. Okay. So if this was your floor plan and you already have your drawing set up and you need to do some revisions, what you wanted to do is you wanted to keep this file and do the revisions inside of this file. Some companies want you to create separate files for revision, but I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so this one is still the file name, and this is actually my second revision. So what you could do is create a copy of this file. So we're going to do a save as, and we are going to make this name, I guess, revision 3, and click save. So this is now called revision 3. You're going to go to the model, okay, and make sure that you turn on everything that is off and frozen. So turn on everything off and frozen. And what you can do is you can make a copy of everything. So we're going to do a copy, and we're going to select all, and we're going to bring this copy somewhere above, far away, maybe like that. Okay, and you can do just this uh, label here. Okay, you can start labeling this, and so I'm going to just do a text, and I'm going to specify this as my height. Let's do a single line text. I'm not a fan of multi-line text, but I'll click here, and then I wanted to specify the height down here, the height. So I'm gonna click here. I want it big, and then the direction is straight. Okay, and I'm going to do today's date. So for example, this is 02 dash 26 dash 23. Press enter, enter. I'm just gonna move that on the side. So it doesn't really matter what layer that is, but I'm just gonna put that in layer 0. Okay, and then this one down below, I'm gonna copy this layer. I'm gonna put that here. Okay, and I'm gonna label this current. Okay, so that tells me that on this first revision 3, I have the old plans and these are my new ones. And remember that you wanted to keep a copy somewhere above or maybe somewhere below, but you're always using this location as your current drawing. Okay, because this current drawing is on this layout or any layout that you have already done. So you don't want to change the location of the floor plan, and all you have to do is do some revision. Okay, so on this revision over here, and now let's turn off things that we don't need. I really just need the so I'm gonna turn this off, this off, this off. Oh, I probably don't need that, but I do need the parking and the property line, and I don't need most of them. Um, so let's see, maybe I need to freeze them so they can be hidden. Okay, there you go. If you don't want to see the curb, then you can also turn them off or freeze them. So these are the old ones over here on top, and these are the new ones down below, and they are tied into my paper. Okay, so all I have to do is modify this, but still have a record of what I had before and up to this date. Up to this date, I have this plan. Now I'm going to do my current ones. Okay, so it could be simply I needed to do expand the building, so I'm going to have to remove the hatch first and maybe expand the building this way. So I'm going to expand the building for whatever way I need that. Okay. And then obviously there's a car parked here, so I can't swing my door out, but there's no parking here. And this is just for unloading purposes. So I might um, want to put my door here too. Okay. Or if I wanted to have my door here, I probably have to just switch this parking spaces. Okay. So that involves opening my site. So I have to open my site, cafe site, and doing the same thing. I'm going to do a model, and I have several copies here. So I'm just going to copy and move that up here. Let me just turn on my ortho. Move that up here, uh, and then let me just copy the text here so I wouldn't need to clipboard copy, and then go back to my site, and then clipboard paste, and then paste that somewhere here. Okay, I guess I want to move this whole thing again. Let me just check if everything is on. Yeah, everything is on. There you go. And then over here, because I wanted to swing my door on this direction, I'm just simply going to move this here and move all this hatch from here to there. Okay, so that the van swing is going to be here. I mean, the van park is going to be up here, and the unloading is going to be here on the left. There's really no requirement where your loading and unloading is, but I do want it for this purpose so I can swing the door here. So I'm just going to click save. Okay, and then go back here to the floor plan, and then this should automatically reload. If this doesn't show up for you, there's a setting there, but you can type in xref, and then over here you simply select your base site, and then click this button here, and then reload. You can reload all or that just that one. Okay, you can also right click and then click reload, and it should reload it for you. Okay, so going back now to the model space. Now this one has a current the name here for the site plan. So I'm going to just pull that down and also turn uh, off that layer. Wondering what layer was that on. So let me go back here and click what layer was this on. This is on layer 0. I just used 0. So here for the base, I don't see layer 0. I wonder why, if there's any layer 0 there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back again to the cafe base site, and I'm simply going to do a put this on this layer, C text. There you go, and then save that. Go back here, accept the reload, or right click and then reload, and then when yes I do, and then I go back to model space and accept that, and I should not see the text anymore. Okay, so now I'm ready to go back. Let's just save this first. I'm ready to go back now here. Nope, it didn't accept that. Did I save that? save this file. Now it's, did I change it here? I changed it up here. Okay, so that's wrong. So I'm supposed to change the bottom one. I made a mistake. I'll put that there. But no, I didn't. That was correct. This one is was the one that's changed already. Yeah, so this one is supposed to be correct. So we save that. Go to my plans over here, and it did show it. I was just confused. Okay, and then accept that. So anyway, here you go. So I can swing now here, um, for the emergency exit. Okay, and I can now do this. I don't need this wall here now, so I'm just gonna go and fix my plan now and erase this. Okay, and now that the wall is here, and this grid is to specify where the wall is. Okay, I'm now going to um, move my grid accordingly. So I'm going to just do a move, and I'm going to specify that I'm now referring to this one. And this grid here is actually specifying a column that's supposed to be somewhere here. So I believe there's a column somewhere here. Okay, uh, there's a column somewhere here on the door, and there's a column somewhere here, and there's a column somewhere here. So I have to actually modify my. Oh no, there's I put in a mezzanine, so there's no column there. So there would be a column here. So I'm going to do a rectangle, and whatever size of your column. Let's say I'm going to do an 8 by 8. Okay, and I'm going to move that from the midpoint here to the intersection here. Okay, and that's going to be part of the wall, or you can create a new layer, um, for a column, and we put in a COLS. So um, that's for columns. Okay, and then you can change this to a different line weight, but we wanted to change it to blue, or remain let it remain as blue, or maybe a 4, and simply select that and change that to layer calls over here. Okay, and there's supposed to be one on here as well, so I have to modify my plan accordingly and put that inside the wall. Okay, now it may be inside the wall that this column will be smaller, but the engineer would have to specify that. If it's not, then it will be stubbed out. Okay, so I'm now going to just do a trim. Okay, obviously I can't put the door here now, so I have to relocate that. So I'm going to just erase that whole piece. Okay, and the benefit of extending the wall this way is I can now your create extra rooms here. Okay, so in this case I would have to just do another wall here. So I'm gonna change this now to wall, and I may wanted to extend that maybe up to here, or um, let's see, what is the distance here? At 10 feet. That's 10 feet, right? Another 2 feet probably. Okay, there you go. And then uh, do a 7-inch wall. This one is now a wall, as it is now the edge of the building, or edge of the stair, I mean. So I'm ready to now do a fillet. Okay, and then do my trims and clean up all my walls. There's missing line here, so I'm gonna do a trim and then trim that. So you wanted your drafting to be perfect. Okay. And in this case, because I moved this wall and I needed the storage, or you can, increase the size of the office according to what the customer wants. They wanted like a 250 square foot office, and you only provided, let's see, what was the size? 133. Okay, so you may occupy this whole thing as the office, and erase that now. Let's just extend this line here. Okay, and then do some lines here. There we go. Okay, so this whole thing is an office now, and I created this extra room here. And I'm going to do a door here. So I'm going to do my upload, and I'm going to use uh, my door Lisp, and I probably wanted this to swing out 36 inches. Okay, so I wanted this one 4 inches, and I wanted this one and that one. This swings out. There you go. I don't need, so I'm going to label that storage area, and I don't need any windows on that location. Okay. So I'm just going to now start hatching, doing a BH on this one. Okay. And then just copy the settings on that one. Okay. Here too, I'm just ready to hatch that, and I'm just hatching them separately. So if I need to modify something, I wouldn't need to rehatch portions that I don't need to hatch again. Okay, so there you go. See this one, I hatched that with something else, so I'm going to just do that one. Okay, and so once you're done, you just save your work, and when you go back to your layout, you can see that you don't need to remove anything else because you did your modifications on the same spot on the same floor plan, but you still kept your old one here. So for a record of what you have done in the past. Okay. Yeah, and then you can move this label. Oop, but I thought I moved that. Okay, and center this. And obviously, because we did that, we're gonna do an area, and then we're gonna pick these 4 points here, and then press enter, and the area is now 201.9, so that's almost 202. So double click, and then we're going to like do a 202 square feet. Okay. Do the same thing here, double click, and then type in area, and then pick the 4 points of the room. If it's a rectangle or a square, press enter, and it's 91.33. So we're going to double click outside, and then edit this by double clicking and type in 91. And then that goes back to the owner, and to approve. And if the owner, let me save this, and if the owner um, wants to insist on the storage to basically another 200, then you have to find that on like the second floor. If you have a second floor layout, okay, then you have to do that. So going back to the model on the second floor, which is going to be on this layout here, second floor uh, revision 2. You're going to do the same thing. Okay, you basically change that model, so make sure you turn on everything. and then you can see whatever xref was attached here. And to select that new revised xref for the first floor, I'm just going to simply right click here. Then I can change or select new path by to change the new file. So select that new path and then point to the new file and then click open. And you will now see the changes that I've done. It will still be named the same file name as the original. Now you don't need to rename this because it's just, that this is a first floor. But if you want to rename that, when you right click on this one and select the new path, even though this is now pointing to the new drawing, which is first rev 3, um, the name here will still be the same. Okay. And if you want to rename this, you actually have to change the reference name here. And you can simply just add, rev 3 if it is rev 3. Press enter, and now you have a rename. The layers now, when you save this, will be called in rev base first rev 3 also. So when you do the rename here, you'll see a note here. Dependent symbols will also be renamed. So any layer associated with this one also be renamed. Okay. But yeah, you can now see the changes, and then you can now do your second floor changes on top of it. Okay. So same thing. You're just gonna erase the file. Uh, yeah. So in the first floor, you're gonna simply erase the hatch and then move the walls and then all that other stuff. Okay. It will become confusing. So when you already have identified actually the grid that you want, okay, you simply just modify the grid and put it on wherever location you want. Okay, now you can move the wall and then you can now turn off the xref or freeze the xref and then uh, make your changes. I think we moved this already, and then make your changes without the xref. Okay, and then again save your work, and then you should be able to see that on your elevation. I mean on your base sheet. Okay, so that's how to do it. Now for our next assignment, we are now going to set this floor plan up for with the title block. This is for schematic floor plan, and we just use a 8.5 by 11. But we're going to now do our next assignment of setting this up on the title block after you have done your changes, including labeling and all that stuff. Okay.